Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are breaking down a pattern that's incredibly useful if you are trying to modernize legacy systems without going through painful rewrites. It's called the Strangler Fig pattern, and yeah, it's named after a tree, but it actually solves one of the biggest problems in real-world software. How do you replace an old monolithic app with microservices without breaking everything? We are going to walk through it step by step using a real e-commerce example, and by the end, you will know exactly how and when to apply this pattern. Let's get started. Let's imagine your company has been running an e-commerce site for a few years. It started out as a big monolith. One code base, one database, one giant deployment. At first it worked fine, but now it's slow to scale, hard to maintain, and almost impossible to upgrade without causing problems somewhere else. You want to move to microservices, but doing a full rewrite, that's risky. It could take months, and if something goes wrong, your customers and your revenue suffer. That's where the Strangler Fig pattern comes in. What is the idea behind Strangler Fig pattern? Think of a real Strangler Fig tree. It starts small, growing around the outside of an existing tree. Over time, the fig grows stronger, while the original tree weakens and fades away. The software version works the same way. Instead of replacing your entire monolith all at once, you slowly wrap it with new microservices. You take one feature at a time, like product search or order history, and rebuild that in a new service. Then you route traffic to the new service instead of the old one. Bit by bit, the monolith gets smaller. Eventually, it's either gone or small enough to manage without pain. So let's apply this to your e-commerce app. Your monolith handles everything: product listings, cart logic, checkout, payments, order tracking, reviews, and user accounts. You decide to start by pulling out the product catalog because it's high traffic, low risk, and doesn't depend on a lot of other services. You build a new product service, a standalone microservice that fetches product names, descriptions, prices, and images from its own database. Next, you update the API gateway or your routing layer. Now, when a user loads the homepage or browses categories, the request for product data goes to the new product service, not the old monolith. Everything else, like the cart and order placement, still runs through the monolith for now, but congratulations, you have just used the Strangler Fig pattern. One feature has been safely migrated without touching the rest of the system. Now that you've gained confidence, you move on to the next feature. Maybe the reviews module. You build a dedicated review service. It owns its own database, handles customer feedback, and includes a clean API for the front end to use. Again, you update routing rules so that all review related requests go to the new service. Then maybe you do the same for the order history or the checkout flow or the user profile section. Each time you build one microservice, you isolate it from the monolith and you slowly reroute requests to the new service. You are not breaking the old system, you are replacing it piece by piece with something better. The reason the Strangler Fig pattern works so well is because it reduces a risk. You don't freeze development for 6 months to rewrite everything. You keep your system running the entire time, and you only change what you understand. It also gives teams flexibility. Maybe the product team owns the product service. Another team handles reviews. Everyone can work in parallel at their own speed. And because each new service is separate, you get all the benefits of microservices: faster deployments, independent scaling, and easier testing without crashing your legacy app. You might be wondering, what about the database? In many cases, the monolith has one massive database. When you extract a feature, you copy the relevant tables to a new service database, or you set up sync jobs or events or temporary read-through APIs. It depends on your setup, but the key rule is each new service owns its own data going forward. It doesn't reach into the monolith's database. And when you need to connect things like checking inventory while placing an order, you do that through APIs between services, not shared tables. That's how you slowly cut off the monolith's roots without chopping it down all at once. Eventually you reach a point where the monolith is barely doing anything. Most of the features have been moved out, most of the traffic is hitting the new services. At that point, the monolith can either be retired completely or kept around as a simple legacy admin tool or fallback system. And now your platform is fully microservices based, and you got there without the drama of a big rewrite.